Hashtag the echo of justice in Havenwood. The afternoon sun dappled through the ancient sycamore leaves as Elias Vance sat alone on a weathered park bench in Redwood Park. His shirt clung to his back, damp from the summer heat. A sturdy oak cane rested beside him, and a half-eaten sandwich, wrapped in wax paper, lay untouched. In his hands, a well-worn copy of The Alchemist offered familiar comfort, its pages always revealing new depths. Footsteps, laughter. 3 teenage boys swaggered into view, loud, confident, oblivious to their own privilege. Trent Sterling led the charge, his father a major land developer in Havenwood. Marcus Thorne followed, smug in his mother's influence on the city council. Trailing behind, quieter and clearly uncomfortable, was Liam Hayes, the reluctant tag-along. Trent pulled out his phone, a smirk playing on his lips. Ladies and gents of Streamlive, we found a live specimen of senior wildlife. Observe the government-funded philosopher. Marcus howled. Look at that sandwich. Guess that's where our tax dollars are going. Snack time for Grandpa. Elias flinched, but subtly, he turned a page slowly, his fingers steady, his eyes unreadable. In his courtroom days, he'd stare down ruthless criminals and corrupt politicians alike. These boys, they were just noise. Hey, old man. Trent stepped closer. Share some wisdom for the internet. You know, educate the masses. Maybe we should just leave, Liam mumbled, his voice barely audible. Shut up, Marcus hissed, elbowing him. This is gold. The boys fanned out, phones angled like weapons. Their shadows crept across Elias's book. Trent's voice, feigning sincerity, cut through the quiet. What's it like freeloading off society? Must be nice, huh? Sandwiches, no job. Elias's hands remained on the book. His gaze stayed fixed. Dignity, he'd learned, was best preserved in stillness. Trent leaned closer, lowering his voice mockingly. He's ignoring us. Probably too busy counting his pension checks. We're dreaming about, well, anything but work, right? Marcus snorted. Old school privilege, that's what it is. Elias shifted slightly. The birds still chirped. The sun still shone, but the air thickened. Dance for us, Grandpa. Trent jeered. You Streamlive famous yet, guys? This isn't right, Liam said, his voice strained. Trent snapped. It's just a joke. Chill. He found a new angle with the camera. Sir, we're doing a project on local history. Can you help? Elias finally looked up. His stare was calm, but sharp. I've lived through more history than you'll ever read. Marcus grinned. Perfect. Now say something with that wise, old man voice. Make it authentic. Trent tossed a soda can. It bounced on the bench. Marcus added a bag of chips to the scene. Props, man. Gotta make it real. Still, Elias didn't rise. His silence was louder than their taunts. Frustrated, Marcus kicked the cane. It clattered to the pavement. Oops, he said, feigning innocence. Guess you're stuck. Elias set the book aside. Slowly, he began to rise. His knees wobbled without support. Trent blocked him. Where you going, Star? We're not done. Let me pass, Elias said quietly. Or what? Trent mocked. Go to lecture us? You don't scare anyone, Grandpa. Elias's eyes, sharp despite his age, narrowed. You're making a grave mistake. Trent shoved him. The fall was sudden and brutal. Elias crumpled. His hip smashed in the concrete. His glasses slid from his face. Pain jolted through him like lightning. Marcus's laughter turned manic. Got it all. Replay that hit. Trent grinned, his phone still rolling. Going viral tonight. Elias gasped, struggling to sit up. Above him, the boys loomed laughing, recording, mocking. But Liam didn't laugh. He knelt beside Elias, pushing the cane towards him. Sir, are you all right? Leave him. Trent barked. He's fine. Just being dramatic. Liam didn't move. He stared into Elias's eyes, calm, piercing, judging. I know who you are, Liam whispered. You used to be Judge Vance, didn't you? Elias said nothing, but the silence confirmed it. Liam stood up slowly, turning to Trent and Marcus. You morons just assaulted a federal judge. Trent blinked. No way. He's just some old guy. He put away murderers, Liam said. He presided over major civil rights cases. My aunt talks about him. Called him the unyielding verdict. Marcus scoffed. So what? He's not anymore. He's still respected. Liam snapped. And you just filmed yourselves knocking him down? Think your parents are going to cover that up? The phones lowered. The bravado cracked. Let's bounce, Marcus muttered, glancing nervously at Elias. Trent hesitated. We delete the video. We're fine. Elias's voice came, soft but clear. You can delete the footage, but the judgment, it's already passed. Liam helped Elias sit upright. I'm calling someone, he said, pulling out his phone. My uncle's with the city police. Trent paled. Wait, Liam, don't. Elias looked up at Trent. The law may take its time, but it always arrives. Sirens weren't yet heard, but tension surged like a rising storm. And as Elias gripped his cane and rose once more, the boys realized this wasn't content. This was consequence. 3 weeks after the video went viral, Havenwood was no longer the same quiet suburban town. Elias Vance, once forgotten in retirement, had become a national symbol, but he didn't care about fame, only about truth. The morning after his courthouse speech, the mayor requested a private meeting. Elias refused. I'll speak where everyone can hear, he said. By noon, he stood again before the press. I was attacked, Elias said, his voice, though weathered by age, carrying immense strength. But this isn't just about me. It's about what our silence has allowed to fester. He continued. There are names you don't know. Students expelled without cause. Families denied housing loans. Workers overlooked because of their last name or their skin. Behind him stood Liam Hayes, nervously clutching his testimony. I was there, Liam said into the mic. I didn't stop it. I was scared, but I know now silence helps the wrong side. The town listened. Elias's legal team, led by Anya Sharma, filed a sweeping civil suit: defamation, assault, hate crime enhancements, and systemic negligence. It named Trent Sterling, Marcus Thorne, and their families. Though Liam was listed as a cooperating witness, the evidence was damning. Not just a viral video, but decades of buried discrimination surfaced. Documents, testimonies, even recordings of city council members joking about prejudice policies. Within days, state officials launched a civil rights investigation. 3 Havenwood officials resigned. The district attorney opened a criminal inquiry. Suddenly, people who once ignored Elias were calling him Judge Vance again. Meanwhile, Trent's family lawyered up. His father, Reginald Sterling, issued a public statement. Boys make mistakes. Let's not destroy their lives. Elias simply responded, They tried to destroy mine. In court, Anya was relentless. This isn't a viral prank, she told the jury. This was targeted, racially charged harassment of a man who helped build the justice system they tried to mock. Elias took the stand last. I forgave them, he said. But forgiveness is not the same as forgetting, and justice does not retire. He paused. My grandfather died before he saw true equality in this nation. He told me, son, don't just open doors, hold them open. That's what I tried to do as a judge. That's what I'm doing now. The courtroom fell silent. The jury deliberated for 2 hours. Then came the verdict. $5 million awarded to the newly founded Vance Fellowship for Equal Justice. Full expulsion of Trent and Marcus from the school district. Mandatory diversity reform across all Havenwood institutions. A recommendation for federal prosecution of hate crimes. Outside the courthouse, Elias emerged to cheers. Trent, pale and wordless, was escorted out by his attorney. His prestigious university acceptance rescinded 2 days later. Marcus's parents withdrew him from public view entirely. Liam, though facing minor consequences for his initial involvement, became deeply involved in community reconciliation efforts and worked closely with Elias. Weeks passed. Elias rebuilt his garden shed. This time, it became a place of purpose. Every Saturday, neighborhood teens gathered there for his civil rights workshop. They called it the Justice Hub. One day, a girl in the back raised her hand. "Why didn't you hit back?" she asked. Elias smiled. "Because the most powerful thing I ever held wasn't a fist. It was a gavel. Justice hits harder when it stands tall." The Vance Fellowship grew. Law students across the region applied, eager to continue Elias's mission. Anya took leave from her firm to lead it full-time. At the high school, a vibrant mural replaced a vandalized wall. It showed Elias in his robe, hand extended to a young student of color. Above it read, "Truth doesn't expire." One afternoon, a hesitant knock sounded at Elias's door. It was Trent. He looked thinner, quieter, visibly shaken. "I know I don't deserve your time," he said, "but I wanted to say I'm sorry. Not for the cameras. For real. I was raised to think certain things, and I didn't question them. But now I can't stop questioning." Elias studied him. Then he opened the door wider. "I don't teach to punish. I teach so people learn." Trent joined the Next Justice Hub meeting. Not everyone welcomed him, but Elias made space. Later that year, Elias stood at the community center's dedication ceremony. Havenwood had changed. Slowly, painfully, but undeniably. There were new city council members, better policies, and more honest conversations. He stepped to the podium one final time. "Justice isn't a destination," he said. "It's a path. And sometimes it takes a painful fall for a town to rise again." The crowd stood in applause. And in that moment, the man they once mocked stood taller than ever. Not just as a judge, but as a builder of something greater.